What if the greatest love story in football suddenly turned into its biggest battle? Yes, Messi is about to face Barcelona. And this time, he's not wearing their colours. The club that made him, the fans that worshipped him, now standing on the opposite side. The emotions, the pressure, the impossible choices. This match could change everything we thought we knew about loyalty in football. But there's one hidden twist behind this reunion that nobody's talking about. And once you hear it, you'll see this match in a completely different way. We'll explain everything in this video, step by step. Don't skip it. Stop everything, because football destiny is about to hit us right in the heart. Yes, you heard it right. Lionel Messi is officially set to face Barcelona, the club that made him, the stadium that raised him, the fans that worshipped him, and the badge he wore for more than 2 decades. Now he returns not as their hero, but as their opponent. This isn't just a match. This is pure football emotion. This is memory versus reality. This is love versus competition. From a shy little boy in La Masia to the king of Camp Nou, Messi built a legacy that may never be repeated. Goals, trophies, Ballon d'Ors, magical moments. He gave Barcelona everything. But football, oh, football always loves drama. After the painful goodbye, the tears, the heartbreak, and the new journey across continents, destiny has brought Messi right back to the doorstep of his past. And now the question burns louder than ever. Will he celebrate? Will he hesitate? Or will emotions take over? Imagine it. Messi standing across from Barcelona, Camp Nou roaring, fans divided between love and loyalty. One touch, one run, one shot, and history could be rewritten. This match is not about tactics, not about statistics, not even about trophies. This is about emotion. This is about unfinished stories. This is about football destiny calling one last time. One thing is guaranteed. When Messi steps onto that pitch, the entire world will stop to watch. Because some stories are too powerful to ignore and some reunions are simply inevitable. Messi versus Barcelona. Official, emotional, legendary football, you beautiful drama machine. Messi returns to face his former club, and with that single moment, football destiny begins to unfold in a way that feels almost scripted by fate itself. This is not just another match on the calendar, not just another fixture for fans to casually glance at. This is a collision of past and present, of memories and reality, of love and rivalry, all wrapped into 90 minutes that promise pure emotional chaos. For over 2 decades, Barcelona was Messi's home, his battlefield, his playground, and his kingdom. From the moment a small, shy boy stepped into La Masia, the world unknowingly witnessed the birth of a legend. Every dribble, every goal, every impossible pass slowly built a story that would reshape football history. Camp Nou became his stage, and the fans his loyal witnesses, celebrating magic that felt unreal week after week, season after season. But destiny is never simple, and football is never kind to fairy tale endings. The emotional departure, the tears, the disbelief, and the heartbreak marked the end of an era that many thought would last forever. Messi leaving Barcelona felt like the sun disappearing from the sky, leaving behind silence, confusion, and unanswered questions. New chapters opened, new jerseys were worn, and new challenges were embraced. Yet the bond between Messi and Barcelona remained unbreakable, stitched deeply into football culture. Every time his name was mentioned, Barcelona echoed. Every time Barcelona played, Messi's shadow lingered. Their stories were too intertwined to ever truly separate. Now, fate pulls them back together, but on opposite sides of the pitch. Messi no longer returns as the hero in Blaugrana, but as the opponent standing across from the club that shaped him. The emotional weight of that moment is impossible to measure. Every step he takes toward the stadium will carry memories of glory, sacrifice, and loyalty. Every touch of the ball will awaken echoes of past brilliance. Every glance at the crowd will remind him of the love that once surrounded him unconditionally. For the fans, the emotions will be equally overwhelming. Cheers will mix with silence, applause will battle nostalgia, and every movement will be watched through the lens of memory. This match becomes more than football. It becomes a test of emotion versus professionalism. Can Messi separate his heart from his mission? Can Barcelona defend against the very genius they once celebrated? Each pass, each sprint, each shot will feel heavier, charged with history and meaning. The stadium will tremble with anticipation, knowing that something extraordinary is about to unfold. Cameras will capture every expression, every reaction, and every heartbeat because moments like this transcend sport and become cultural events. This is the kind of night that defines careers, rekindles memories, and reminds the world why football holds such unstoppable power. Messi facing Barcelona is not just a reunion, it is destiny standing face to face with itself, ready to rewrite the story in the most dramatic way imaginable. The emotional clash between loyalty, legacy, and competition turns this moment into something far greater than a simple football match. At its core, this encounter represents the deepest struggle any player can face, choosing between the heart that remembers and the mind that competes. Loyalty binds players to their clubs, to the fans, to the memories built over countless matches and unforgettable nights. Legacy, however, demands progress, ambition, and the courage to step into the unknown. When these forces collide, the result is a storm of emotion, intensity, and drama that only football can create. For Messi, loyalty is not a word, it's a lifetime. His journey with Barcelona was not just professional, it was personal. He grew, learned, failed, succeeded, and conquered, all within the same colours. The fans did not simply watch him play, they watched him become who he is. Every goal was a celebration of shared pride, every defeat a collective heartbreak. Loyalty was built through years of sacrifice, dedication, and unwavering belief. But legacy, relentless and demanding, pushed him toward new challenges, forcing him to step beyond the comfort of familiarity and chase greatness in unfamiliar territory. Competition adds the final layer to this emotional battle. Once the whistle blows, sentiment must give way to survival, ambition, and victory. In that moment, friendships fade, memories blur, and instinct takes control. The opponent is no longer a former home, but an obstacle standing between ambition and success. Every sprint becomes a statement, every tackle a declaration, every shot a demand to be remembered. The pitch becomes a battlefield where emotions are suppressed and focus sharpens to a single purpose: winning. Yet beneath that surface, the heart never fully detaches, and that tension fuels an intensity that electrifies every second. For Barcelona, the conflict is equally complex. Facing the player who once embodied their identity means confronting their own past. Defending against him feels like challenging a reflection, a reminder of what once was and what can never fully return. The players carry the weight of representing a club whose history he helped define, while the fans struggle between applause and allegiance. Loyalty pulls them towards celebration, while competition demands resistance. The stadium becomes a chorus of mixed emotions, where cheers meet hesitation and pride meets longing. Legacy looms over every moment. Messi's achievements at Barcelona form a mountain that no opponent can ignore. Each trophy, each record, each iconic goal lives within the walls of the stadium, echoing through the stands. Now, those memories become both motivation and burden. For Messi, legacy demands excellence, even against those he loves. For Barcelona, legacy demands resilience, even against the legend they created. The clash between these forces elevates the match beyond sport, transforming it into a symbolic confrontation between past glory and present ambition. This emotional collision generates a unique atmosphere, one that can shift in a heartbeat. One brilliant dribble can spark nostalgia, one crucial interception can ignite defiance, one goal can unleash joy or heartbreak across continents. The energy is raw, unpredictable, and unstoppable, turning every second into a dramatic heartbeat of football passion where loyalty, legacy, and competition wrestle endlessly for control, shaping a spectacle that resonates far beyond the final whistle. The historic reunion, filled with drama, memories, and passion, transforms this moment into a living chapter of football history where every second feels heavier than the last. Time seems to fold back on itself as the past and present collide in a spectacle driven by emotion and anticipation. This is not a normal reunion where smiles and handshakes dominate. This is a meeting forged by competition, shaped by heartbreak, and fueled by memories that refuse to fade. Every step onto the pitch carries echoes of old triumphs, while every glance into the stands stirs emotions that no professional training can silence. Memories flood in instantly, breathtaking solo runs, impossible goals, roaring celebrations, and nights when the stadium shook with disbelief. These moments are engraved into the hearts of millions, forming a collective memory that still lives vividly in every fan. Each blade of grass seems to whisper stories of glory and resilience, while the floodlights illuminate a stage that once witnessed magic week after week. The air is charged, thick with nostalgia, yet sharpened by the reality that this time the roles have changed. The familiar colours now belong to rivals, and the hero of yesterday becomes the challenger of today. Drama thrives in this atmosphere, growing stronger with every heartbeat. The tension between expectation and uncertainty grips the stadium, creating a silence that feels louder than any cheer. Supporters struggle to balance love with loyalty, caught between honouring history and defending the present. Applause clashes with hesitation, admiration battles resistance, and emotions swirl uncontrollably. Every touch of the ball is met with a collective gasp, every run with rising anticipation, every shot with a surge of disbelief. The match becomes a theatre where emotion writes the script and destiny directs the scenes. Passion ignites across the pitch, pushing players beyond their limits. Teammates fight not only for victory but for pride, identity, and belonging. Opponents push harder, knowing they face more than just an individual but a legacy that shaped an era. Challenges become fiercer, sprints grow sharper, and every duel carries symbolic weight. The energy is relentless, flowing from the stands to the pitch and back again in a powerful exchange that keeps hearts racing and nerves trembling. The reunion brings faces from the past into focus, former teammates now standing on opposite sides, old friendships tested by new ambitions, familiar gestures replaced by cautious glances. Each encounter adds another layer to the drama, deepening the emotional complexity of the night. Every corner kick, every free kick, every quick break forward feels like a moment suspended in time, as though the entire football world is holding its breath, waiting for something unforgettable to unfold. Memories continue to rise, colliding with present intensity, shaping a narrative that feels both nostalgic and fiercely alive. The roar of the crowd surges, then falls into hushed anticipation, only to erupt again in waves of emotion. Passion burns brighter with every attack, every save, every daring attempt. The historic reunion becomes a canvas painted with struggle, hope, regret, determination, and pride, capturing the essence of why football is more than a game, why it becomes a lifelong connection, and why moments like these stay etched in the soul long after the final whistle fades into the night air, leaving behind echoes of emotion, unfinished stories, and memories still being written in the heat of battle. One match that will stop the world and redefine football emotion arrives with a force so powerful that it transcends sport, culture, and geography, uniting millions in a single heartbeat of anticipation. From bustling cities to quiet villages, from crowded cafes to glowing living rooms, every screen becomes a window into a moment that feels larger than life. Conversations pause, routines break, and time itself seems to slow as fans prepare to witness a spectacle built on history, rivalry, and raw human emotion. This is the kind of event that draws in even those who rarely follow football because its meaning stretches far beyond 90 minutes on a pitch. The atmosphere surrounding this match is electric, charged with expectation and layered with deep emotional tension. Supporters carry memories, dreams, and hopes that have accumulated over decades, pouring them into every chant and every cheer. The build-up alone feels like a global festival with debates, predictions, and emotional reactions flooding every corner of social media. Old clips resurface, legendary goals are replayed, and unforgettable moments are relived, all building toward a confrontation that promises to carve a new chapter into football history. The excitement is contagious, spreading like wildfire and pulling everyone into its magnetic field. On the pitch, every movement takes on height and meaning. A simple pass becomes a statement, a sprint becomes a declaration of intent, and a single shot can swing the emotional balance of millions. Players feel the weight of expectation pressing against their shoulders, knowing that their actions will be replayed, analysed, and remembered for years to come. The pressure sharpens focus, fuels adrenaline, and pushes limits, creating a spectacle defined by intensity and drama. Each duel becomes a clash of pride, every tackle a battle for dominance, and every breakthrough a surge of collective emotion. The emotional gravity of the match redefines what football represents. It becomes a language spoken by hearts rather than voices, a story told through movement rather than words. Tears of joy and sorrow flow freely, reflecting how deeply the game is woven into personal identities and shared histories. For some, it recalls childhood dreams and unforgettable nights. For others, it symbolizes resilience, hope, and the power of perseverance. In those moments, football becomes a mirror of life itself, revealing passion, struggle, triumph, and heartbreak in their purest forms. Stadiums transform into cauldrons of emotion, vibrating with chants that rise and fall like waves, carrying energy that spills across the pitch. The roar of the crowd merges with the rhythm of the game, creating a pulse that can be felt far beyond the stands. Cameras capture every reaction, every celebration, and every moment of despair, broadcasting a raw and unfiltered display of human feeling. The world watches, connected by a shared sense of wonder, suspense, and longing, bound together by the simple yet profound beauty of the sport. As the match unfolds, the narrative constantly shifts, keeping hearts racing and minds restless. Momentum swings like a pendulum, turning hope into fear and doubt into belief within seconds. Every near miss tightens the tension, every save ignites fresh waves of emotion, and every breakthrough sends shockwaves through global audiences. The experience becomes immersive, pulling viewers into a collective journey where anticipation and uncertainty walk hand in hand, shaping a story that refuses to be predicted. Driven by the unpredictable magic of football and the endless capacity of human emotion to rise, fall, and surge again in moments that linger long after the final whistle, echoing through memories, conversations, and dreams, carrying the weight of a night that promised to redefine what it truly means to feel the game. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe